Speaking of brands,
there's none bigger than the man we're about to talk about. But Jimmy, we learnt that he doesn't have a platform. We're talking about Brian Taylor here.
He doesn't.
He doesn't have a platform to express opinion.
What do you call this when he's calling the game and doesn't call the game for half an hour?
No, that's not Brian having an opinion. So he set up.
Yes, he does.
He set up a podcast, Bill, and you're across this.
Yes.
He's decided to call the podcast he's done with his son Harrison.
Yeah.
Life of Brian.
Now, Damo,
jump in first.
I just had a look.
Yeah.
There are 24 podcasts called The Life of Brian.
24?
No. 24 podcasts.
Brian Mannix?
Brian Mannix?
Yes.
He's got one. There we go.
No.
Brian Lara.
Oh, yeah.
Brian McClare. Brian Adams.
Brian Adams.
What does he talk about? Music?
Summer, we had a great summer there one year. Brian Brown. Brian Brown's got one.
Yeah.
And Brian Ferry.
Fat. You're just naming every Brian.
Do you know any others?
Brian Houston.
No, he won't go there.
Oh,
He had a
Hillside.
Brian
He's
Lake.
got a podcast. It's worth listening to. This week.
Hillside he's going with.
That's a suburb.
Brian Lake.
Brian Lake.
You got one?
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's 24 Life of Brian podcasts.
But he wants a vehicle to express opinion and just to tell people what he gets up to.
Platformer.
Yeah, so he's got a certain way of living his life, BT. He likes spending a little bit of it by himself, and he's got a man cave, and this is just easing his way into the podcast he does with his son Harrison.
I go and sit in my shed for hours and hours, and sometimes I just sit there and I just look or I think. I don't actually do anything.
And then Bill, sometimes...
Hours of not doing it.
But then Jim, sometimes he goes to that man cave in that shed and then does something questionable.
Sometimes I fiddle.
And then...
Damo. Damo's colour.
Little unfair edit.
But he's made a name, Jim, hasn't he, around the Roaming Brian concept.
Of course.
And he's tried to market that, but
Yes,
we actually
he has.
overheard him in a conversation here at the MCG about 4 years ago. He wanted to patent it, to actually license it. So, anyway, we all know as viewers that he really often doesn't know who he's talking to, and he does admit this on the podcast.
When I'm walking up to people, I'm sometimes not sure who they are.
Well, that's obvious.
And then we saw that with Andrew Dunkley, and then he didn't go specifically with Andrew Dunkley, but he actually went a little bit deeper with how he does sometimes not know who he's talking to.
I have actually interviewed the person not knowing who he was.
So, Jim, it goes like this. I listened to all of it. And then...
How was it? All right.
It is listenable.
Oh, you had to say that.
But there was a story that he decided to tell late in this first podcast that I did listen to involving his wife, Tanya, which I can't imagine Tanya wanting this to go to air. So I'll just let you in on a bill.
Damo, be careful.
No, hang on. This is not me. This is BT and his son, Harrison, choosing to volunteer this
I don't know
story.
if I can be involved.
Well, we all are involved when Rosie hits play.
I looked over at Tanya, my wife, and she had her hand cupped up against her chest, and I thought, what the hell's she doing? Is she holding some chocolate or strange sort of position to be in, to have you cupping your hand as if you've got something in it against your chest? And I go over for a closer inspection to see what's wrong, because at this stage she's looking rather glum and perhaps a little white in complexion. And I noticed that she'd sort of a little tiny vomit into her hand. I'm thinking, Jesus, how unclassy is that? You know, we've come to this bloody party, and here's my wife sitting on this velvet couch that looks like it's worth about 10 grand, maybe 20 grand, who knows? And she's got a spew in her hand anyway. I'm thinking, what the hell is she going to do with that? I'm thinking, there's no bin in sight. There's no bin in this place. And I was watching her, and all of a sudden, she put it down between the cushion and the side arm of the couch.
Good girl, Tanya.
No.
So
Tanya.
that's what you get on the Life of Brian.
She's had too much to drink. Just had a spin.
No, there was no accusation of that.
Oh, what was it then?
She was just a little bit off colour.
And jammed it
But
down
you
the side
know
of
when
the
he
couch.
said, he sits in his shed and just looks. You know what he looks at? All the contra
Yeah.
he has got over the years.
All the steel.
All
The chainsaws.
Yeah.
That's what he does. Oh,
I don't
Hedge
know.
trimmers.
There's a hell of a lot of contra. I think he just walks in and takes it.
oh right. So
I don't think there's nothing coming
back the other way.
It's just robbery.
As soon as Ryobi come on board, he wants the whole lot.
Hard jacker.
Tractors.
Who else are our sponsors?
He's got footballs too, doesn't he? Hasn't he got about
Yeah.
180 footballs?
And you know what he collects is those silly bloody cubes that are on
Yeah, Mike Cube.
mic cubes.
Oh, does he?
He collects. He's got 100 different mic cubes. he's weird. But he needed that platform to tell those stories.
Because he hasn't got enough vehicles.
Will you be listening, Bill?
Is it on listener?
I actually don't know.
No, it's not part of
don't
our
think it is.
stable.
Righto, well, I'm not listening to it then.
No.
How do you spell
fair
listener too on Triple M? How do you spell that?
Listner.
Well done.
No, I wouldn't
You have a go.
Well, it's there.
It's
Look.
actually written there.
I wouldn't know myself, to be brutally honest.
Yes.